Yo, Big C in the house. You know the name. Finn Posse Podcast. Changing the game. Fizz up high. Feel the aqua and orange. Miami Heat blazing. We scorching the floor. Marino the tour. We stacking the saga. Legacy deep, call it football nirvana. Big C, break it down, got the stats in his veins. Play-by-play knowledge like he's calling the chains. Fins flying on the field, opponents feel the blast. Tyreek cheetah speed, leaving DBs in the past. Waddle with the wiggle, defense with the clamp. Aqua drip so clean, whole squad's the champ. Tune in, Big C, got the mic on lock. Finn Posse Podcast, it's the cream of the crop. Breaking news, hot takes, repping the block. For the Dolphin faithful, it's the one-stop shop. Finn Posse. We the voice of the fans. Miami stand tall, got the world in our hands. Best podcast, yo, ain't no debate. Big C, big vibes, setting it straight. Defense smash, call it Aqua Tsunami. X locking routes like a South Beach Armani. O-line holding strong, trenches like a fortress. Big C dissected, no stack goes dormant.
Try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less. You check as I'm chess, what's happening next? Yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, that's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold an obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing.
What up, Finn fans? Welcome to another episode of the Finn Posse Podcast. I'm your host, Big C, and this is brought to you by Game Changers Media. How is everybody doing this lovely Tuesday morning? Coming at you bright and early. I know usually we go live at 10, 10:15, somewhere around that time. I was super eager to get on here and talk today. Yesterday was a huge day for the Miami Dolphins. A huge day for the future of this franchise, and I was excited to get on here and talk about it. Matter of fact, I don't know if excited is the right terminology I should be using. Yesterday was a rough day for me. I'm not going to lie. Yesterday was a rough day because, you know, as much stuff that we went through the last few years during this Mike McDaniel regime, you know, it's been a long time since I've been excited about Miami Dolphins football as I was during that Mike McDaniel run. That 2022, 2023, you know, I was super excited for this football team. And I honestly can't remember another time that I was that excited about Miami Dolphins football. So yesterday was a tough day for me. I'm not going to lie. Yesterday was a tough pill for me to swallow because I knew it was coming. It wasn't a surprise, but it still hurt when it happened. You know, obviously we moved on from Mike McDaniel earlier this offseason, firing Chris Greer. Obviously changes needed to be made to this franchise. I think we're all in agreement that the Miami Dolphins needed to move on from Chris Greer. I think we were all in agreement on that. Some of us felt differently about Mike McDaniel. where did I lie on that? I'm not saying that Mike McDaniel didn't need to be replaced, that he didn't do enough to be replaced. But at the same time, I don't think that we went about replacing Mike McDaniel the right way. I don't think that we were in a position to replace Mike McDaniel at the current moment. So it's definitely, it's definitely a questionable situation for me. But if you felt like we should have moved on from Mike McDaniel, I understand why. I get it. But now, yesterday, the Miami Dolphins made some roster moves, and it became real to me. It became real to me. Obviously, things were going to be different without Mike McDaniel here. Some of you will say that's a good thing. Some will say it's a bad thing. Some people are on a wait to see type deal. But yesterday, it really felt like, it was finally at the end of an era, end of a, and I don't even know if that's the right terminology neither, end of an era, because it was only a short period, right? It was only from 2022, 2023, 2024 was a disappointment. And that, of course, 2025 was somewhat of a disaster, I would say, because we definitely didn't perform to the level that we came accustomed to this team playing to the prior couple years. So yesterday we move on from Bradley Chubb. That's I was against the trade for Bradley Chubb first and foremost. I was against trading for Bradley Chubb. I felt like we gave up too much for Bradley Chubb. I felt like we gave too much money to Bradley Chubb. I never felt like he was an elite pass rusher. And we gave him elite pass rusher money. We traded first round draft pick to get Bradley Chubb. I remember Roquan Smith he had been available a little bit before we made the trade for Bradley Chubb. I really wanted us to go get Roquan. We didn't do it. Baltimore pulled the trigger. And then shortly after we made the trade for Bradley Chubb, I thought it was a mistake. Bradley Chubb came here. Bradley Chubb had some decent years. He was never the dominant pass rusher that we paid him to be. He didn't fill that role for us, which we paid him like he was supposed to be a dominant pass rusher. We gave up a first round draft pick for him to come in and be a dominant pass rusher. He never was that, though. Did he have two decent seasons here? Yeah. 2023, he was having a phenomenal season until he got hurt. And that 2023 season, that season's gonna eat me alive forever. Until the Miami Dolphins win a championship, hopefully someday, that 2023 season is going to eat at me. Because I truly believe 2023 was our year. And we let it slide through our fingertips. 2023, we were built to win the Super Bowl. And then injury after injury after injury after injury just devastated this football team. And it's like after that 23 season, we couldn't get back on track. What the freak? Why is this not showing up? Sorry, I got some stuff to okay, what the freak? I don't know why. I hope they're not all like that. They are. Damn it. Well, I had some stuff to show. Maybe I put it in the wrong spot. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. Background. Okay, yeah, I put it on the wrong spot. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 freaking seconds to get all these moved over real quick. But yeah, the Miami Dolphins, I liked Bradley Chubb. I thought he was a good player. He did us a favor last year taking a massive pay cut. I mean, he sat all out all of 2024, recovering from the ACL injury or the Achilles, one of the two. He did us a favor. He took a pay cut. He was, after Jalen Phillips was traded, he was our best pass rusher. I want to say he finished the season with 8.5 sacks. Again, he was all right last year, but never was that dominant player that we paid him to be. Never was that dominant player that we paid him to be. He was going to be a $31 million cap hit this year. Obviously, the Miami Dolphins weren't going to pay that. All right, get that on there. Just one more second, folks. Sorry. I don't know why I put them all in the wrong spot. And one more second. Roller coaster of love. Say what? Oh man. I think I got one more and then okay. So the Miami Dolphins released 2-time Pro Bowl pass rusher Bradley Chubb, parting ways with the 29-year-old, making him a free agent. In 2 full seasons with the Dolphins, 23 and 25, Chubb recorded 20 sacks, 8 forced fumbles, 17 tackles for a loss. Of course, there's going to be a market for him. Bradley Chubb was the player that he was in Denver. He was probably even better for the Miami Dolphins than he was for the Broncos. So, I mean, we got what we paid for. I mean, we didn't get what we paid for because we paid for an elite pass rusher, and Bradley Chubb wasn't that. But we got what he was. He didn't come here and lay an egg. He was the same player. And he might have been a little bit better than he was with Denver. He might have been even better than what he was when he was with Denver. With the Denver Broncos, he had 12 sacks was his max as a rookie. After his rookie year, he had 1 sack, 7.5 sacks, no sacks, 5.5, and then 2.5 before we traded for him midseason. In Miami, his first year here, he had 11. And then last year, 8.5. That year where he had 11, he could have had even more, but he got hurt. He got hurt in a game that he shouldn't have even been in. So the Miami Dolphins moving on from Bradley Chubb. We had to get under the salary cap by March 11th. The Miami Dolphins trying to get ahead of things, obviously. We were sitting anywhere between – the cap numbers are all over the place, depending on what site you follow, anywhere from 16 to 24 million over the salary cap. The releasing of Bradley Chubb, that saves us $7.3 million off the cap, which If this isn't a post June 1st release, it doesn't really make sense to me. If the Miami Dolphins don't end up making this a post June 1st release, it doesn't make sense to me. Because, yeah, we save 7.3 right now releasing Bradley Chubb. But if we release him as a post June 1st, we save an additional $13 million. An additional $13 million. That equals out to a pretty damn good player in free agency just to give away. Lincoln says Chris Greer should be arrested for what he did to this team. Yeah, I mean, he should definitely get some kind of charge. 100%. 100%. But again, Bradley Chubb, he was never going to live up to that contract. When he got to the league out of college, like I said, he had a good rookie year, and then injuries caught up to him. Never had 10 sacks again until he was traded to the Miami Dolphins. 2023, he had 11 sacks. Then he got injured, missed all of 2024, came back last year. He was decent. But not a player that you can justify paying $30 million a year for. Not a game-changing defensive end or outside linebacker. And you had to expect that John Eric Sullivan and Jeff Hafley were going to move on from Bradley Chubb, that they were going to move on from a lot of the high-priced veterans on this football team. So not a surprise that we move on from Bradley Chubb. I'm sad to see him go because it means that, officially it means that Mike McDaniel era was a failure. Again, I feel like that 2023 team had so much promise until the injuries caught up to us. But the move that truly hurt me yesterday, man, and I'll tell you, it hurt. I knew it was coming. But the move that truly hurt me yesterday was the Miami Dolphins releasing Tyreek Hill. I get why the Miami Dolphins are releasing Tyreek Hill. There's no way that you can afford to pay Tyreek Hill $50+ million. There's no way that you pay anywhere near $30 million for a wide receiver that suffered the type of injury that Tyreek did last year against the Jets. Tyreek's knee exploded. There's no way that you can justify giving this guy anywhere near a contract on that level. Shoot, I don't know if you can justify giving him $10 million a year with the way that knee exploded. But I will tell you this. Tyreek, he's going to be 32 years old. He's an aging receiver. He's known for his speed. That to suffer the devastating knee injury that he suffered, does Tyreek come back? Who knows? Who knows if Tyreek comes back and is anywhere near the player that he once was? But I'll tell you what, when Tyreek was here, man, that guy gave me goosebumps. He gave me goosebumps. I don't know if I've ever been excited or, I don't even know how to put it into words, the way that Tyreek Hill made me feel when the ball was in his hands. At any given moment, this guy could take it to the house. The excitement that he brought into my living room on Sundays was unmatched by any Dolphins player ever. And I'm the biggest Dan Marino mark there is. And I'm not saying Tyreek's a better player than Dan Marino by any means, but the way that Tyreek, I think I'm a different level football fan now than what I was when Marino played, but the excitement that Tyreek brought into my living room every Sunday, it just could not be matched. Could not be matched. Tyreek gave you hope that no matter what, you were going to be able to move the ball down the field and score. All you had to do was get it in his hands. The most explosive player that I've ever seen. The most explosive player I've ever seen. He's not the greatest player I've ever seen. Again, I think that Barry Sanders, Randy Moss. But as far as pure excitement, I don't know if there's a player above Tyreek Hill. In the, maybe I was just damaged goods. Maybe I was just damaged goods. So many years of the Miami Dolphins just being so bad. Not having elite players at these skill positions that when we got Tyreek, it was just like, oh my God. But Tyreek was special. What he did here his first 2 years for the Miami Dolphins is remarkable. Is remarkable. His first year here, 17 games played, 119 catches, 1,710 yards, 7 touchdowns. He followed it up the next year, one less game, 119 catches, 1,799 yards, 13 touchdowns. If Tyreek Hill doesn't get horse collared against the Tennessee Titans, Tyreek Hill gets 2,000 yards in 23 and quite possibly wins the NFL MVP award. Quite possibly wins the NFL MVP award at the wide receiver position. He wasn't the same player after that Tennessee game where he got horse collared. That was the downfall of that 2023 season, too. We had Tennessee dead to rights with 4 minutes left in the game, up 2 scores, and we blow that game. We would have won the AFC East. We would have had a home playoff game. We wouldn't have had to go to Kansas City and play. And who knows? Who knows what happens? I mean, we were still devastated by injuries. Our offensive line was shot at that point. We had no pass catchers. Tyreek was on one leg. Waddle was hurt. We had no pass rushers. We had no safeties. We were hurt. We were rough. But who knows how much things are different if we win that Tennessee Titans game. Maybe Mike McDaniel's still safe. Maybe Chris Greer's still safe. Who knows? But Tyreek Hill, that first 2 years here in Miami, there's something special. I can't say this word for the life of me. Statistically, Tyreek Hill is a top 5 wide receiver all time for the Miami Dolphins, playing 4 years. Now, I'm not going to put him above Clayton or even Duper. I think he was a better receiver than Duper. He was probably a better receiver than Clayton. But the fact that Tyreek Hill, who else do you put above him all time for the Miami Dolphins as a wide receiver? I mean, Mark Clayton is the number 1 Dolphins receiver of all time. His numbers are just above and beyond. The things he was able to do with Danny Marino, just above and beyond. But Tyreek Hill, man. Tyreek Hill's career with the Dolphins, 54 games, 340 receptions, 4,733 yards, 28 touchdowns, 2-time first-team All-Pro, voted the NFL's number 1 player in the top 100 after the 23 season. Tyreek was special. and it hurts to see him go. This offense, the greatest show on surf, whatever name they had wanted to give it. You know what I mean? Tyreek made this offense special. And it just feels like that has come to an end. It's came to an end. Now we still got speed in Jalen Waddle. We still got Achane, who's very explosive and elusive. And I love Devon Achane. I do. And I hope that the powers that be don't try to change him up too much. Because Devon Achane gives me my fix. You know what I mean? He gives me my fix of excitement. Because I feel like Achane can take it to the house on any given play also. So he's helping me to cope with the loss of Tyreek Hill. He helped me to cope last year. When Tyreek went down against the Jets, I was devastated. But Achane's play helped me cope. He helped me cope. But losing Tyreek to me is 100% sad. I'm disappointed that it ended the way it did. Of course, he had his problems off the field that nobody liked. He made his comments after the Chiefs loss where he didn't want to be here, this, that, and the third. His house caught on fire. He was arrested outside of Hard Rock. The Marinas thing, the thing with his wife, the thing with the soccer coach, just a bunch of different things off the field that Tyreek was a headache. But on Sundays, Tyreek was special. And it's sad to see him go. It's sad to see him go. It was sad to see him go. And I think Tyreek is going to be a massive addition late. I don't know if he's going to be back the first week of the season, but he's going to be a massive addition for a contending team down the stretch next year. Don't count Tyreek Hill out. He's a freak. He's a freak of nature. Don't count Tyreek Hill out. He'll be back. But the Miami Dolphins releasing Tyreek Hill saves them $22.885 million. They're still got a salary cap hit of $28.24 million. Still a huge hit. But this helps Miami get under the salary cap. Again, there's no way you can justify giving him that $51 million. It wasn't possible. Again, how do you view the trade for Tyreek Hill? Obviously, we wanted to win a Super Bowl, but do you see the trade as a failure? We gave up an awful lot for Tyreek. We gave up a 2022 first rounder, a 2022 second rounder, a 2022 fourth rounder, a 2023 fourth rounder, and a 23 sixth rounder. We also gave him a 4-year, $120 million deal, $52 million guaranteed. And then in 2024, we restructured it, gave him an extra 3 years, $90 million, so he could have some more guaranteed money. It's hard for me to call it a failure, but I mean, it was a failure. We brought Tyreek in. We brought Jalen Ramsey in. We brought Bradley Chubb in to win a Super Bowl, and we didn't even win a playoff game. So there's no other way that you can label this era of Mike McDaniel, Tyreek Hill, Bradley Chubb, Jalen Ramsey. You can't label it any other way but as a failure. Sure, was it exciting at times? Yes. That game against the Broncos scoring 70. The game against Baltimore where we came back in the fourth. We had some good times, but ultimately it was a failure. It was a failure. It absolutely was a failure. So, although I will miss Tyreek Hill, and I hope he comes back from his injury, and I'm still going to cheer for him unless he's a Buffalo Bill or a Jet or a Patriot. But I think Tyreek comes back and still can be a difference maker. The Miami Dolphins were not done, though. We're not done. The Miami Dolphins' top free agent signing last year in 2025, James Daniels, was released. We brought James Daniel in to play guard. He was an all-pro guard. He was coming off a major injury, a Chris Greer special. We got him on a discount. We signed him to a 3-year, $24 million deal. Literally coming off of ACL. He looked like he was going to be healthy for the regular season, start of the regular season. Dang, I'm always losing my voice. Looked like he was going to be healthy. This guy was an all-pro guard when healthy. He lasted 3 snaps. 3 snaps. You can't make the shit up. 3 snaps he lasted. Ends up missing time with a torn pec. He's supposed to be back somewhere mid-season, week 10, week 11. This guy never comes back. We're told very little about what happened. He never makes it back onto the field. The Miami Dolphins are moving on. I don't know why necessarily they're moving on. They only gained $1.2 million in cap space by releasing him. They're eating $4.9 million in dead cap. You would think that a team that is so short-handed on the offensive line, by the releasing of James Daniels, the only active guards we have on this team are Keon Smith and Jonah Savaianaya. So the fact that you're willing to move on James Daniels when you're only gaining $1.2 million in cap space, I don't know. Maybe he's more hurt than let on. I don't know. But Jeff Hafley and Sully are ready to clean house and get him out of here. Maybe he's just not a guard that meets the image of what they want their guards to look like. So, yeah, the Dolphins moving on from James Daniels after only 1 season, 3 snaps. Crazy. But yet again, the Miami Dolphins were not done. We're not done. The Miami Dolphins also released another 2025 free agent signing, Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, wide receiver that we signed from the Tennessee Titans. We brought this guy in to be a red zone threat. He wasn't a threat to do anything. What a complete disappointment. On a team that Tyreek Hill went down with a season-ending injury, we were looking for people to step up, and this guy just couldn't do it. I don't think he was a match for the quick release offense. Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, 11 catches, 89 yards. 11 catches, 89 yards on the season. This is a guy that had 10 touchdowns for the Titans. He just could not get it going. The Miami Dolphins saved $1.5 million cutting him. He had signed a 2-year, $5.9 million deal. Again, I'm not losing any sleep over losing James Daniels or Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. I feel a little bit differently about Bradley Chubb and Tyreek Hill. But again, I understand it. I understand that there wasn't a way that we could keep either of those players at the current money that they were making. I appreciate that Bradley Chubb took a discount last year. He probably wasn't doing that again this year. He came back from injury. He showed that he can still be a pretty decent player. So now he's going to want to get paid. Tyreek's going to have to sign a prove-it deal with some team. The Miami Dolphins are not in a position that they're going to be a team that's ready to compete this year. So it just doesn't make sense to bring Tyreek Hill back. Even if we can bring him back at $5-6 million, it doesn't make sense to bring Tyreek Hill back. It doesn't make sense for Tyreek Hill to come to Miami and play. Watch for Tyreek to either try to get back with Mike McDaniel with the Chargers or to make his way back to Kansas City. Or, God forbid, I hope it doesn't happen, or possibly Buffalo. I'd be sick about that. I'd be sick if Tyreek signs with Buffalo. I'd be sick. The Miami Dolphins are far from done. These moves got them under the salary cap, so they're safe there. What other moves can be made this offseason? Again, I don't understand why Bradley Chubb isn't a post-June 1st release. I just don't get it. That would save us an extra $13 million. I mean, I think he should have been one of the top candidates for that. Another option for a post-June 1st release is Austin Jackson. Releasing Austin Jackson right now makes no sense. We'd only save $1 million and have a massive cap hit. But if we release him post-June 1st, we can save $11 million. But again, that opens up another hole for the Miami Dolphins. Edward, I think Tyreek plays next year. I think he does. I don't think he's going to start, but I think he'll be back. Other options that the Miami Dolphins can release, you got Alec Ingold. I think he'll probably be released. Jason Sanders, he'll probably be released. Of course, what are the Miami Dolphins doing with Tua Tagovailoa? If the Miami Dolphins can trade him post-June 1st, they would only take a $13 million cap hit this year. I doubt they're going to be able to trade him. It's more likely that they have to do a post-June 1st release. Post-June 1st release. Would be a $67 million cap hit, saving about. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see on Tyreek or Tua. You know, I say just take the full cap hit this year. That's what I say. You're not going to win a bunch of games this year. You might as well just take it on the nose. Take your lumps and get it over with. Get it over and be done with it. I don't want to have to hear about Tua Tagovailoa after this year. I don't want to hear about his dead cap money next year. Take it all this year and wash your hands with Tua Tagovailoa. Be done with it. Be done with it. What up, Cap? What up? Chubb and Tua will be post June 1st. Destinations watch for Tua news by this weekend. What are they cooking? What are they done? What are they cooking? Like, they made obvious releases to two of our top 7 players. Other ways the Miami Dolphins can increase cap space, they can give contract extensions to Aaron Brewer and Jordan Brooks. That would add roughly $9-10 million in cap space by giving them contract extensions. Minka Fitzpatrick, maybe a post June 1st trade. Miami Dolphins could save $15 million moving on from Mika. So there's ways for the Miami Dolphins to create cap space. I don't think this team's going to be a big-time spender. I hope we don't go out and try to sign Malik Willis. I think that would be a massive mistake. This guy has proven nothing. Nothing. Do not be fooled by a couple games that he came off the bench that defensive coordinators weren't able to set up a game plan for. Do not be fooled. Do not drink the Kool-Aid. We're better off getting quarterback in 2027. Take your lumps this year. Malik Willis is not going to take this team to the next level. He's not going to take us to a Super Bowl. There's too many holes on this team. The Miami Dolphins have massive holes. After the release, Nick Westbrook-Ikine, what wide receivers do we have on this roster? We got Waddle, Malik Washington, Taj Washington. After the release of James Daniels, at guard, we got Keon Smith and Jonas Vayanaya. So we need wide receiver. We need guards. We need tight ends. There's a good chance that none of our tight ends come back. We need edge rushers in the worst way. Right now, our only edge rushers are Chop Robinson and McClendon. We need corners. We need safeties. There's just too many. We have too many holes. We have massive holes on this football team. Oh, yeah, they're going to make the decision as soon as possible. As soon as they hear back from every team that we're not interested in trading for Tua, you might as well make the move. I don't see why anybody would trade for Tua. I don't. I want a full court press for Romeo Doubs. Why? What is Romeo Doubs special? Is Romeo Doubs special? There's nothing about that guy that is special. Lombardo, I agree. I'd go with Quinn Ewers this year. I got a video gonna talk about the free agent quarterbacks and possible draft targets for quarterback this year. But in my opinion, with the way this roster is constructed, this team is a 3-win team. If we're lucky. If we're lucky. Why rush it? Why rush anything? We have time to find our quarterback of the future. We don't have to rush it. We don't have to rush it. Let the 2026 season play out. And let's see what the NFL draft, let's see who becomes available. Let's see who becomes available. Do we hold Tua until training camp or preseason just in case some other team's quarterback gets hurt? I mean, if you're making him a June 1st release, you would think that makes sense. But I think they just want him out the building, Cap. I think they just want him out the building. Romeo has better numbers than Waddle. I know that. Again, Romeo Doubs. Waddle's not a number one. We got a number two. Romeo Doubs is nothing better than a number two receiver. He's not a number one. He's not a number one. And he's going to get paid better than a number three. So he's not better than Waddle. He's not better than Waddle. I'm not taking Romeo Dobbs over Waddle. Get your quarterback at 27. I agree. Taylor Green, quarterback from Arkansas, is decent. Rocket of an arm. Check him out. Yeah, I mean, if I'm cool with taking a quarterback late in this draft. There's no way I would draft a quarterback in the first 3 rounds. There's too many holes. There's too many holes. And none of these quarterbacks, none of these early round quarterbacks do it for me. You're reaching. You're reaching if you take quarterback in the first 3 rounds this year. And you're taking away the possibility of us filling key positions on this roster. So if I'm the Dolphins, I'm drafting best player available at a position of need, and right now we need most positions. So it should be just draft best player available. I would probably try to trade back in the first round, to be honest. I would try to get more draft capital if I was the Dolphins. Malik Willis, 8-year deal, $300 million. I wouldn't be surprised with the moves that, the way that they put this coaching staff together. And I understand that it's typical for coaching staffs and general managers to hire people that they've worked with and that they feel comfortable with. I just think the Halfley and Sully, they did too much. Damn near everybody on this coaching staff is somebody that Halfley's worked with at one point or another, whether they had success together or not. Like, why didn't they bring in Cliff Kingsbury to interview for the offensive coordinator position? You can't tell me that everybody that you worked with was the best candidate to fill all these positions. You can't tell me that. It's not real life. Well, I hope so, Anthony. I hope they're not that desperate. I think it'd be a foolish move. Why go pay a quarterback $20 to $30 million a year when you can draft one and you have them for 5 years? You have your draft pick for 5 years guaranteed. If you want them for that long. You never know who's going to be available in next year's draft class. Or, like you said, Taylor Green at the end of in the fourth, fifth, sixth round. Grab him up. And maybe he's just that special dude. You know what I mean? Maybe you hit a home run late in the draft. But again, it was a sad day for me. I understand that, we didn't have the greatest amount of success during the Mike McDaniel era, but it was an exciting time in Dolphins football. At least for me. We went through a very long stretch where Dolphins football wasn't exciting at all. And in 22, 23, I felt this team was special. Now, obviously, we didn't reach our full potential for whatever reason. You can blame it on Tua, the inability to beat good teams, the inability to win in cold weather. I think it had more to do with injuries. I know every team suffers injuries, but 2023 we had an obscene amount of injuries. And I just feel like that year could have been really special. I feel like we missed out. I think we missed out. Well, Miller, the difference between this year and next year is that next year we should at least be able to get our pick of the quarterbacks. We should at least get our pick instead of having to wait. Yeah, I mean, Drew Alar is an option. Like I said, late round, I'm cool with it. Late round, I'm cool with you guys with the Dolphins taking a quarterback. But I would not draft a quarterback probably in the first 3 to 4 rounds. We got 3 third-round draft picks, and I would not waste one of those on a quarterback. But the most important thing is yesterday that the Miami Dolphins got under the salary cap. Next move, you would think would have to be Tua Tagovailoa. They're trying to get this thing figured out. Again, I don't think they're going to be able to trade him, but who knows? Who knows what happens? I've been surprised before. I wouldn't. I would trade. I'd be willing to trade Waddle. I wouldn't trade Achan. I just don't think you're going to get enough back for him. If you can get a first for him, absolutely. Absolutely. At this point, if you can get a first for him, I'd be okay with it. But anything less than a first, I'm not trading Achan. Waddle, I'd take a first, possibly even a second. But that's stupid. That's stupid because we could have had a first for him last year. We could have had a first for Waddle last year. Yeah, I don't know if we offer any comp picks. I don't know if we got any comp picks. I'll try to figure it out. But yeah, Miami Dolphins made 4 roster moves yesterday. They're salary cap compliant now. We should have we're gonna hear something about Tua sooner rather than later. They got less than a month to make a move. What the Dolphins do, who knows? Who knows? Maybe someone is foolish enough to say, all right, we'll take Tua. That's best case scenario for the Dolphins is that they're able to trade him away. If I was the Dolphins, I'm just eating that $99 million this year. And I know that's devastating to our salary cap, but that guarantees us a top 3 pick next year. It guarantees us a top 3 pick next year. And that should be the ultimate goal right now. Positioning ourselves to get the best quarterback possible in the 2027 NFL draft. That should be priority 1, is getting the quarterback position figured out. Putting yourself in the best possible position to get the best possible quarterback that you can get. Because without a quarterback, it's hard to win in this league. It's hard to win in this league. And damn it, it's been a long time since Dan Marino walked through those doors. It's about time. It's about time. No more quarterbacks with limitations. I don't want a quarterback that can do this well, and this well, but can't do this. I want a quarterback that can do it all. I want a quarterback that can do it all. Hit that like button for me. Subscribe, comment, share. We're going to really break down this NFL draft. We're going to do it big. We're going to do it big. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Again, sad day that Tyreek Hill is no longer a Miami Dolphin. Maybe some of you are happy. I know I'm not. I knew it had to be. I knew it was a move that had to be made. But again, he brought me some good times to the Miami Dolphins. He brought me some happy memories. He brought me a level of excitement that I haven't had since Ricky Williams was here. And for that, I salute Tyreek Hill. Yes, he had the problems off the field. He wasn't the perfect citizen. He would put his foot in his mouth way too often. I'm not supporting the human being he is. I just think he's a great football player. I think he's a great football player. Again, Anthony, I got some more tape to watch. I'll let you know here shortly. But I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Hit that like button, subscribe, comment, share. And you know what it is. Fins up. And let's go. Peace.
Yo. Big C in the house. You know the name. Fin Posse Podcast. Changing the game. Fins up high. Feel the aqua and orange. Miami Heat blazing, we scorching the floor. Marino the tour, we stacking the saga. Legacy deep, call it football nirvana. Big C, break it down, got the stats in his veins. Play-by-play knowledge like he's calling the chains. Fins flying on the field, opponents feel the blast. Tyreek cheetah speed, leaving DBs in the past. Waddle with the wiggle, defense with the clamp. Aqua drip so clean, whole squash the champ. Tune in, Big C, got the mic on lock. Fin Posse Podcast, it's the cream of the crop. Breaking news, hot takes, repping the block. For the Dolphin faithful, it's the one-stop shop. Fin Posse, we the voice of the fans. Miami stand tall, got the world in our hands. Best podcast, yo, ain't no debate. Big C, big vibes, setting it straight. Defense smash, call it Aqua Tsunami. X locking routes like a South Beach Armani. O-line holding strong, trenches like a fortress. Big C dissected, no stack goes dormant.